Hello and welcome to the channel. So today I want to try and see if we can build a fully functional app that uses ML in the background in just 20 minutes. We will use ChatGPT to help us basically wipe code, and we'll get the code from ChatGPT, put it in the in Visual Studio and see where we get. So the challenge is we just have 20 minutes. We don't have much of knowledge, but our environment's already set up. So we do have Python, we do have some of the packages already installed, we do have Visual Studio set up. So those basic setups are there, and we just want to start asking questions and get going. So I want to use a publicly available data set for this. So first question I will ask is, what are the public available data sets? I have one in mind that we will choose, and then we go from there. All right, with that, let's start our timer first. All right, the timer goes. All right, there you go. All right, what are some of the famous public ML datasets that I can use to train models? Yeah, let's see what we get. All right, so amongst this, I already decided to use MNIST. MNIST is a handwritten digits dataset that we can use for image classification. And we want to build a web page that would basically classify any input that we give to it and gives us what digit that we input with our mouse. All right, so write a Python code that uses MNIST and trains the model and tests it. All right, while this is moving, all right, that's what's ready. I do have Visual Studio here on the right, and I got this code from ChatGPT. Okay, it's using PyTorch. Let's see. I want to use TensorFlow. I don't know why it went to PyTorch, but it doesn't matter. We could use PyTorch. I'll rather use TensorFlow in this case. Okay. We got this code. I don't want to go through it because we don't have time, so I'll just copy the code and create a new file. And this is ml.py. Alright, I save it and see if we can run this. Alright, to run this, I just need to say python 3 ml.py. Let's see if we do have all the packages. I'm not sure though. Alright, we do have the packages installed. If we did not, we could use the command that we have here, pip. So we could use pip install TensorFlow and then install it. Alright, so now it's training the model. But while it's doing that, I want to go ahead and add a new prompt here, which would be, now wants to use this model as the engine to run a web page that gets input from the user in form of mouse drawings and classify the input using the model generated here. Okay, so probably we can use Flask here. Well, we could have done something that we don't miss time, so we didn't save here, but my mistake I made is that we didn't save the model here, and we were going to lose the model right now. All right, the model training is done. So the accuracy was 98.81% on this model that we already trained using the test data provided from the MNIST All right, so let's see what we got from GPT here. Save your trained model. Yeah, we should have done it before. All right, we can do this. We put this down here. All right. And save. I think we need to run this again, but now let's see how it just creates an HTTP page, process the inputs, predicts this here, it does the prediction model. All right. Okay, let's see. I copy this code and I will create a new file. So I need to create a new file, the app.py, paste the code here, wait for this because we need to retrain our model so we can save it. So I will run the ml.py again. We can save the model first, and then we come back and run the app.py. Okay, let's see what it's doing here. So it does give us a basic HTML page, and then we do have a function that does the pre-processed image based on the data that it gets from the web page, and then use the prediction to use the model that we had to predict. So, well, we'll see how it goes. Waiting for the model to train now. While we do that, I think we can give another let's use a modern layout for the app. Okay. Why does that? All right, we do have a 98% accuracy on this model that we trained. The model is saved here. So we did this Keras file, it's a model that we just trained. And now go on the app.py. So I need to run this. So Python 3 again. This is how Python 3 house on my system is installed. It could be Python only on your device. All right, python.app.py. Let me just see. Are we using another? Okay, let's see. They're not using anything else, but let's see if we can change the port. All right, change the port to another port. Okay. Now let's open this page. Okay. So basically, this is the app that we just made. In the Flask app, we can run it on our local server. When we run it on local server, you get this IP address 127.0.0.1, and that's specific port. Oh, okay, I don't want to go through the details though. All right, let's try the app first. So I draw one, predict. Okay, the issue here is, okay, it thinks, so the prediction scores are these, and then we're saying only 3 with confidence score of 80. So the model is not the best. So let's see, this is a 2. Let's predict. Prediction is 2, okay, correct. 3, predict. Confidence score 3, okay, perfect, that's good. Let's see if it does a 9. 9. thinks it's a 7. Okay, let's do another 9. Thinks it's an 8. Okay, the prediction is not the best. Alright, so let's go back. Actually, our problem right now is not actually the app is really looks good for now. We go back to here and we'll see our model. So I want to see what are we using. Actually, not a bad model. It's just pretty much a good model that we're using. Alright, let's go and talk about the model accuracy or the model predictions are not the best. What are, or let's say, how can we enhance the model? So currently we are using 2 convolution. Max pooling. This is not a bad model. It's probably a little bit too much actually. See what we are. Okay, the suggestions here. Probably so. There are two suggestions that we're getting. One is how we can enhance the pre-processing. Second is to enhance the model. The model is doing okay, I guess. It just feels dropout is 50% here, 20% and 25% dropouts there. Alright, let's do a more bigger validation splits. $5. I will run the ML code again. That's just a minor changes to the model. While it's running, I want to do a couple other changes here. So we want to see what is the input that the model is getting from the app. So here we want to look into what is the input we are getting and how we are looking at it. So for that, we want to see in this processing image, we want to save what's going on. We want to see what is the app what is the input that we are seeing. So basically we should be able to save this image variable that we have here. We have only 6 more minutes to finish this. See how we already have the app though. So We'll see. What does it say? Okay, I guess my input was not super. So we don't want to save the predictions here. I think it's just the problem here is we only want to save the processed image on the server. It's too much. Okay, that's what we want to do. Basically, we want to save. You say predict? We want to save this. Alright, so input these. And then we update the predict. Okay, so our model training is done as well. 98.96. So we'll see. We'll try to see what this. And this is reloading itself, but I want to make sure it's running properly. Okay. We go to our app, restart it. Say okay, 9. Predict. It's 3. Not bad, not good. This is the 3. It's still 3. 4. Thinks it's 7. Nice. It's not, it's a 2. Okay, it's actually worse now. It's better. Okay, we'll see if you're saving the models. Alright, so we are seeing these very well. These are saved pretty well, actually. So the code that we added is kind of saves what exactly we are, just to make sure that we debug this properly. So when we know what we input, what the user inputs, it gets converted properly to what the model is seeing. But it looks like these are the files that they're saving. So these are pretty much good. So this conversion seems to be valid. Just want to make sure. Let me actually open this file in Finder. Make sure this is a, yeah, this is pretty much correct. So no transparent background, no nothing. So this is a good input. So our inputs to the model is correct. The only problem we have is the model doing a bad job in prediction. It's not predicting well. Now let's go and change this model a little bit. I am getting very bad results. Most of the predictions are incorrect. Can you rewrite the model code and give me a stronger architecture using deep learning? I just have 39 seconds. I guess we don't get to enhance this model very well. Well, let's keep going. For now, while we're getting the new code, we do have a web app that works. Well, it works. So basically it does have a front end, it does have a back end, it does have a model. The model is not great. So I think the next iteration for this is to actually make the model better. Currently we are using like a couple layers of convolutions and this MNIST model. Yeah, we are down with 20 minutes, Okay, 20 minutes is done. So during this 20 minutes, we built this app. So this is using Python as front end, and basically the front end is just basically an HTML that is connected to a Flask server on the back end. And we trained our model. We got a MNIST public dataset. We trained it using that. And we used the same model that we just trained during this 20 minutes to build this web page that tries to predict what is the digit that you input to the through this page. All right, so let's do one more time. 2 is correct. All right, I'm back. The model is trained. I did some tweaks in the code, and as you remember, I asked GPT to give us a more modern looking website during our 20 minutes, but I didn't use the new code. So I used the new code and I replaced the model. Now see what happens. So this is the new look that we have for the website. You can set the brush size here, and then you can erase things or not. So let's see how it goes. 2 predicts 2, it shows the confidence values, it shows all the prediction values down here. So with confidence 98% is 3, which is good. All right, let's see a 0. That's a 0. Let's see. Does it say? That's hard to predict. All right, let's see. It's actual 9. Perfect. 8. There you go. 7. That's good. Now let's see. If we clean up a little bit here, this should be a 1. All right, perfect. That's good. So this is the new website. You can see. So pretty much modern looking, very well working. Let me go over the code, the changes I made. One is basically I have 3 different model training. The ml.py is the original ML file that we had, the original model that was not really good. The ML2 is the second model that we used it, generated through the time that we had at 20 minutes, but it took a while to get trained. ML3 is another model. It's not as good as the number 2, but I already included it. So there are 3 different models that you can train. Each one generates one model, and then you can actually, if you want to play around with this, you can replace these. You use either of these. So I actually commented out the original model. This is the second model that we're using, and the third model. So if you want, you can just comment out one of them and use the other one. And then the other thing that happened is originally we had the HTML for the entire website within the app.py. So I separated everything so it's much more clean. So the app.py is only the logic, and then we do have the index, which is the HTML in a separate file, and also the JavaScript that we use for the front end, and a separate file as well. And pretty much I have an MNIST visualizer that you can basically run this, and it gives you some examples of MNIST dataset. So this is actually, if you want to run this one, you can do Python 3, this visualizer, and then it gives you something like this. So these are some of the samples from the MNIST dataset that the model is trained on. So this is what you can see that is being generated. The model is trained on this, and as you run the website and input, these are the inputs that you give to model, and it would classify. Alrighty. So the code for this project or this example that we had is available on GitHub. Check the links below. If you like the video, if you want similar videos, comment below what type of projects you want to run, we want to see, and I will try to make a video. If you like this stuff, please like, subscribe, and share the channel. All right, peace.